At the start of your presentation, you must do one critical thing. You must make the audience want to hear more. You've got to make them curious. And today, I'm going to share with you 7 different ways that you can create curiosity in the opening of your presentation. Now, my name's Kyle Murter. I'm a public speaking champion, and on this channel, I help you speak more compellingly so that you can get your message across to your audience. So if that's of interest, subscribe, because I'm bringing out new videos every week. Now, before I share these 7 different ways to start your presentation, I need a topic to discuss. So what I've done is I've hopped into a random topic generator, as you can see here. And what it's going to do is it'll give me a topic, and then I'm going to use that topic as an example for these 7 different ways to start a presentation. So let's see what we get. Here we go. The topic that we've got is countries. Countries is our topic. Very good. So the first way I could start my presentation is by using what I like to call the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is when you make a statement at the start of your presentation that creates a question in your audience's mind. For example, with our countries, I could say, there is one country in the world that has 186 million sheep. That country is China. So did you notice there how you began to think about what country it could possibly be with all of these sheep? That's the power of the cliffhanger. You make a statement that creates a question in the audience's mind. And this will only work well if you have some pauses before you reveal the key piece of information. That's the cliffhanger. The second way is what I like to call the promise. The promise is where you make a commitment to the audience at the start of your presentation. And we see this all the time on YouTube. People say, if you stay to the end of this video, you'll learn how to have 6-pack abs. That's a promise. And we can use this in presentations as well. Going back to my countries example, I could say something like, by the end of this presentation, you're going to know all 50 states of America and you'll be able to remember them. Now that's a good hook because it creates 2 questions in the audience's mind. Number 1, what are all 50 states? And number 2, how on earth am I going to be able to remember them? So that intrigues you and makes you want to hear more. The third way is to interact with your audience. So this is basically where I get my audience to participate in my opening in some capacity. The easiest way to do this is with a raise of hands. For example, raise your hand if you're from Scotland. And raise your other hand if you're not from Scotland. The key with this one is to say something in which everyone will raise their hand. Yes, you may not have been from Scotland, so you didn't raise your hand the first time, but the second time, not from Scotland, well, that means you're from somewhere else, therefore you had to raise your hand. It's a great way to create some connection with the audience, to get to know your audience a little bit, and it's one of my favorite ways to start a presentation, a raise of hands. The fourth way is humor. Now, humor is more high risk because the risk is you try to be funny and the audience don't laugh. But if the audience do laugh, you've instantly created connection with them. You've instantly created engagement, and they are waiting with bated breath to hear your next words. So how could you create humor? Well, you've got to try and find something funny in your topic. Do you know what the Scots, the Irish, and the Welsh all have in common? None of us have ever seen the sun. And we've all at some point had a problem with the English. Now, of course, that joke is only going to work if I'm not speaking to English people. So you've got to know your audience and know the parameters and all of that. But the point remains, if you can start with humor, it can be a great way to break the ice and engage your audience. The fifth way to start is with a story. Opening with a story, especially a personal one, is a great way to connect and engage with your audience. So if I was talking about my countries, I might start by saying, when I was in Peru, I ate something weird. I was at a restaurant, I was trying to read the menu, but I didn't understand any of it because I didn't speak Spanish. So when the waiter came around, I just said, I'll have that. And then about 20 minutes later, the waiter brought to my table something which still shocks me to this day. He brought a fried guinea pig that was that size. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, you should always try and learn a little bit of the lingo before you travel abroad. So as you can see, starting with a story kind of draws the audience in, makes them want to hear more. And of course, if I was doing it properly, I would have expanded my story and told you how the guinea pig tasted and stuff like that. But the point is, start with a story, you'll engage them and connect with them immediately. The sixth way is to start with a prop. A prop related to your topic can be a really unique way to engage your audience. For example, with countries, I could say, take a look at this. This is a magnet that I got in Liechtenstein. And this magnet is special to me because after purchasing it, I made a commitment. I decided that every country I go to, I am now going to get a fridge magnet. And currently, I have over 50 magnets on my board. So as you can see, that's quite a different way to start a presentation. It does require you, of course, to have something related to your topic. Don't just have a bottle or have a phone or have a microphone or have something random. It's got to be connected to your topic if you're going to use a prop. The seventh way you can start is by making a shocking statement. This is where you say something so surprising that it creates an avalanche of questions for your audience. For example, I could say, there are 8 countries that will disappear off the face of the earth in 2040. Now that is a good opening because it creates lots of questions. What 8 countries are going to disappear? Why are they going to disappear? So all of these questions begin to come up. It intrigues you, makes you want to hear more. So I hope you found those 7 ways helpful for starting your presentation. But remember, the start is actually the second most important part of a presentation. The most important part is the end. So if you want to learn how to create an effective ending in your presentation, check out this video. I give a few examples of how to end effectively, which you're going to want to see. See you in the next one.